We are starting a project that's been long overdue. We have had a lot of experience, a lot of trials and tribulations with anchoring so far.
That's where the boat was. Now it's over here. What the heck?
So much for anchor phase, huh?
The boat's pretty close to the other boat.
Yeah, it looks closer. That's not good. We might have to move it. I think we need to move it.
And the wind here, I'll predict wind. Get the helm, key ready. And we got the GPS. This is the way we're dragging a little bit. You can tell that. Now on top of all that, we are upgrading our anchor. We have the Mantus M1 Anchor. This was recommended to us by quite a few other boaters we met, especially Gwen and Andy from Abroad Reach Travel. Now we're gonna give it a go, install our new anchor, and hopefully be more prepared for our trip down south for the winter and our great loop next year. Now, some of you might be wondering why we upgraded from our CQR to our Mantus M1, and there's basically two reasons why we want to do this. The first reason is we wanted to size up. Our CQR is barely rated for the weight of pivot, and now this anchor is going to be a 65-pound anchor, and this will be sized up for us. And since we anchor most often on the loop, we'll be able to anchor in a little bit worse weather with this anchor, and hopefully we'll be able to sleep better at night. And then the second thing, and the reason why we got this anchor in particular, is because it should work really well in soft mud, which is what we had a lot of problems with our CQR. So for those two reasons, we're trying out the M1 by Mantus, and of course you guys know we're going to keep it real and let you guys know how it really works for us, but we are excited and hopefully this helps us sleep better. Oh yeah!
Wow!
That thing is huge!
It's gonna be amazing.
Is it gonna fit?
We're gonna sleep great at night.
Package contents: anchor, fluke, shank, roll bar. Step 1, insert the bolts from the bottom of the fluke as shown here and apply lubricant liberally to the 4 bolts. Step 2, assemble the fluke and the shank as seen in the figure below, then tighten the bolts from the bottom while holding the nuts on the top until the lock washers are compressed.
Huge.
3, lubricate bolts for the roll bar and repeat step number 2 for the roll bar fluke joint. That's it. The easiest part, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know if I have the tool to take this thing off. What? Well, like any boat project, it never goes according to plan, and we're kind of stuck at removing the old anchor, the shank, and our swivel. Where they kind of come together, the bolt that runs through is sufficiently stripped, and it was not stripped by us. It was already stripped that way, so we can't get it all the way out, unfortunately. So we're gonna go back to the drawing board and see if, you know, we can find another, I guess, bolt and screw to kind of replace this, or if we need to get a new swivel since this one's kind of rusted. We're gonna see and come back to you guys later. Alright, 3 days later and we have a new shackle. So we ordered the Mantus shackle to go along with our Mantus anchor because we just don't even need to think about it. We know it'll be compatible. I was able to get the shackle off the old anchor, not at the anchor joint, only at the, basically, we have 3 joints in this shackle, our old one. I was able to get the middle one and the one touching the chain off. So not the one touching the anchor, which is the one that we would need to change it and reuse it, unfortunately. But I was able to remove it from the chain, which is a win by itself, so we don't need to cut the link or even think about that, which is great. Now that we have our Mantus shackle, it's a pretty cool design. So we have basically a few different parts here, and the chain is going to go through here, and it's going to be captured here, and then this is going to basically keep it from moving out. And then we have our anchor shackle, which is going to attach to the shank. And so it's pretty cool today. That's why we're kind of giving demo inside versus at the bow. But let's go to the bow and install.
Yay!
You ready to toss her overboard?
No, we have to do the wires.
Now that we have our shackle on, we need to secure it with our 3 wires.
After a quick YouTube video search, we now know the direction of the wires that they are supposed to run and feel much more confident.
Alright, so for round 2, basically we have 3 seizing wires. You do basically one half of the circle, so 1 hemisphere. Twice. Both, so you use 1 wire for one wire for the other, and the 3rd wire is for the pin. So now we're going to do it the way that they suggested. Alright, so we have all the wires in place. It looks great, and now the next thing to do is make sure everything looks good with our bow roller and give her a go.
Woohoo!
And do it to do it.
Wow!
Alright, so good thing our anchor, our windlass seems to be able to move it around. It fits on the bowsprit's all right. We do have one concern though, and that's basically with how thin this shank is, and our roller is quite wide, so it can kind of roll off the roller. You can see that, like, can you imagine like rough seas, like that's a recipe for disaster. I don't really know if it actually could roll off. Let's see. I mean, no, it can't when it's all the way. But there is like this eye hole right here, so we might be able to use that. We also can look at maybe getting a thinner piece, a thinner roller at the top of our bow roller. That'll kind of keep it in line more. So we're gonna keep those on the back burner. We're gonna tie it off if we are gonna go like this. But now let's make sure that we can at least drop it and pick it up.
It hit, I think.
Yeah.
Coming over. Oh, there's mud on the bottom. Look at that. Great.
Wow, that set so well. Well, we're gonna give it a shot. I don't know when. Hopefully sometime soon. We're in the final week before we go, but we might take a small trip out before then. But I would call this project a success so far. What do you say, babe?
Overall, yeah.
Let's knock on wood though.
Yeah, knock on wood.
In picking out this anchor in particular for the size, we referenced the Mantus anchor chart for the weight of pivot, and then when I found the right anchor size, I went a size up for basically, you know, just to help us sleep better. And then I just made sure that that worked with our windlass, because our windlass, we need to make sure it can pick up this big of an anchor plus all the chain that we have, and that's how I made sure that this was the right anchor for us.
Great.
Might need to alter the bow roller, but I think overall I'm happy.
Yay!
She looks good. She looks like a friend. It is officially time to test out this Mantus anchor, and we have some special guests today to do that. And we're not going far, just out into the cove where the marina that we're staying at. It's also a very nice protected anchorage, but we're gonna drop it, see how well it holds, see how well it picks up. We did see the most recent review on Active Captain was that this anchorage drags. So knowing that, let's just see how it goes.
Time to drop the anchor?
Yeah.
The anchor? It hit. 30, 40, 50, 60 in the water.
All right.
So like most things on the boat, we either learn from 1, experience, 2, people telling us and showing us different things, or 3, I know this happens quite a bit, is YouTube. So we watched a few videos on the Mantus Anchor Bridal, since this is our first time using any sort of bridle. We used it, we had made a few adjustments, specifically putting the like clothed part of the bridle through the like this term here on the screen, and then retying it to the cleats and then letting out a little bit more anchor chain. So we think we have set it pretty well, and tonight will be the first night that we'll be really testing it out and giving it a try.
Anchoring turned out to be fantastic last night. We stayed within our bounds for our anchor, no more than 70 feet, and since we dropped 60 plus a little bit of a GPS error and then our bridle, I think that's pretty good. We definitely didn't feel it. I mean, it was a really calm night, so not the best night to test it, but then waking up this morning, same thing, beautiful water. This morning just double checking everything, still great. So now the next test will be pulling up the anchor, and let's see, you know, how well it pulls up and how well it was really set, and check it out.
The anchor's off the hook. Raise the anchor. Okay. The bridle's been released. Raise the anchor. Okay, it's going this way, so follow it.
It's right there.
Came up, and that's a really good sign.
Yeah.
Out of the water. Okay, bring it up. Keep going. Going. Good, good. Stop. Stop. Too much. Let it out a little. Great. Yeah, that's a good night's sleep right there. Voila! That's why we bring up our anchor. So bringing up the anchor with using the bridle, one, I could tell that the bridle did make a nice difference. One, just to like, it didn't have all of the stress in one place, so that was nice. It was distributed amongst the port and starboard side. And then secondly, bringing up the anchor was really nice because it was the exact same as it was with the other anchor. However, I could tell that this anchor is obviously heavier, and so it just took a little bit extra to pull it up, whereas our other anchor was much lighter and it was just like a breeze, which should not be that way. So this was really nice. We are genuinely so impressed with our new Mantus anchor. We bought 3 pieces, the anchor, the swivel, and the bridle, and we are very happy with all 3 pieces so far.
Now, we nicknamed our anchor A Good Night's Sleep, but to really see if it lives up to its name, only time will tell. And we're going to be using it as often as we can when we venture on the Great Loop next year for 2022. So stick around, we hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. Ready?
Okay, you're sending it. Okay.
Okay, alright.
Due to your calculations, it should fit.
According to my calculations.
Don't lie, we're nerdy.
3 steps, that's what I like. Step 1, step 2, and step 3, baby.
Those are not some IKEA directions. Those are Mantus Marine directions, baby. Yep.
Does it fit?
Yep.
What do you think?
I think it's great. I think we're gonna sleep great at night.
I thought I wasn't gonna have a big enough socket range for it, but ironically enough, this is the exact same size socket that I needed to fix the steering wheel when it fell off. What is it? Should we just go ahead and send it?
No.
You know, now that I think about it, I feel like we should have wrapped it around through. Because, like, how are we going to get the anchor overboard? Or, like, it's not going to go through there, would it? Think the anchor will fit there through there?
I have no idea how the anchor is going to go. Alright, I guess so.
Yeah, I think we should take this out.
Yeah. You know what that's called? A good night's sleep. So we're keeping that good night's sleep with us. Okay. What the heck?
I think it just keeps coming loose.
Yeah, because someone glued it.
Sorry.
Great. Okay, you have another boat project. Alright. I'm gonna hose you down.